John chapter 2, verses 1 through 11 to start with. No, I didn't put it in here.
John chapter 2, verses 1 through 11.
Yeah.
John chapter 2. On the third day, there was a wedding at Cana in Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. Jesus was also invited to the wedding with his disciples. When the wine ran out, the mother of Jesus said to him, "They have no wine." And Jesus said to her, "Woman, what does this have to do with me? My hour has not yet come." His mother said to the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." Now there were 6 stone water jars there for the Jewish rites of purification, each holding 20 or 30 gallons. Jesus said to the servants, "Fill the jars with water," and they filled them up to the brim. And he said to them, "Now draw some out and take it to the master of the feast." So they took it. When the master of the feast tasted the water, now become wine, and did not know where it came from, though the servants who had drawn the water knew, the master of the feast called the bridegroom and said to him, "Everyone serves the good wine first, and when people have drunk freely, then the poor wine. But you have kept the good wine until now." This, the first of his signs, Jesus did at Cana in Galilee, and manifested his glory, and his disciples believed in him.
Okay. You all have seen this while you've been here, that the Jews wash their hands a lot, okay, back and forth. Well, it's a tradition, but it's also a requirement that they would have their hands washed before a meal or before going into the temple. Why? What did that do for them? It purified them and made them attempted to make them clean before God. Well, let's look at that. Let's look at Mark chapter 7, verses 3 through 4 to see this tradition.
For the Pharisees and all the Jews do not eat unless they wash their hands properly, holding to the tradition of the elders, and when they come from the marketplace, they do not eat unless they wash. And there are many other traditions that they observe, such as the washing of cups and pots and copper vessels and dining couches.
So the more guests you had at a wedding, the more water you had to have. Okay, you probably had to have servants who were pouring the water over the guests' hands. I don't know about that one, but I've seen some pictures of some of these jugs for purification water that are as big as 150 gallons. They're quite large. Okay? So the miracle we hear here, we kind of, I think in a way, it's sad because we take it superficially, thank you, okay. We see it and hey, it's really cool, and you're water into wine, and what a remarkable thing that it was. But I just want to tell you something. I want you to remember this was special water, okay? It was water that was used for purification. It was water that was to cleanse someone before they ate or before they entered the temple or anything of the kind like that. Now, what it does, more than just the idea that this was really a cool thing, this actually is not only just a miracle, this is the definition of his entire ministry here in this event. Because what has happened here is you had ceremonial water that made someone clean, okay, made someone righteous. But Jesus changed it into wine, just like his blood. And he said this water, which you had to use over and over again, and were never completely cleansed of sin, is now turned into wine, representative of the blood of my body. And with this blood of my body, with this wine now, you're cleansed forever.
Amen.
Not waiting time and time again to have yourself cleansed with the ceremonial water. So rather than just this kind of a cute miracle, I want you to understand, this is the ministry of Jesus. This one thing defines the entire ministry, the entire purpose for which he came, right here in Canada.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was a good one, Steve Thompson.
Thank you.